All right, we are live here tonight. A rare Monday night podcast show. I had to make time for Jason Cornwell and Chas West, both of the band Westbound. So this
Correct.
is correct. A
That's
great
right.
band, Westbound.
Yeah,
A
really is.
fantastic band, Westbound. A
Thank you.
band that everybody needs to fucking check out, Westbound.
Thank you.
But yes, Chaz West, Cornwell, they both have other bands going on. Jason has Steel City going on. Chaz has Resurrection Kings going on. It's like, I don't know how these guys have time to do anything else, but they decided to do another project called Westbound. So, Chaz, let's
Yeah.
start things off. And how did Westbound come about?
Um,
Considering you had everything else going on, you were already in Resurrection Kings, and
right.
you were with Bonham, and you were with Jake E. Lee and Red Dragon
Right.
Cartel, and the list goes on and on. I ain't
Lynch
got enough
mob,
time.
foreigner,
Lynch
yeah,
Mob,
exactly.
Foreigner,
Right.
But how did you figure? Okay, I have time. I want to create a band called Westbound.
Well,
Let me have
actually, it was something I'd always wanted to do for a while because I've been the hired singer for all these bands for years.
right.
And I finally wanted to have my own, band and my own deal. And I had done the Resurrection Kings record, and Serafino, the Perugino, the president of Frontiers Music, was, really impressed. And he also knew about my resume, the bands I'd played with. And he basically sent me a private email saying, I love your voice. I love your ideas. I want to do something just with you. And that's what gave me the opportunity, thankfully, is that he
Right.
believed in me and presented me with a solo deal. And that was, it was pretty amazing. And it came,
Right.
just at the right time. And so then that came out in 2019. I got
2019.
Boise involved as a producer
Amazing.
and co-writer.
Yes, and
Um,
he's known for like heavier stuff with like Halford. He played with Halford,
Right,
and
right.
So
Well, yeah, he did that, and he also produced, Sebastian Bach
Sebastian
and
Bach.
I'm trying to think what else, but he's done a lot of stuff. But we'd already
Yes.
done a band years ago called Tribe of Gypsies,
Tribe of Gypsies.
and we toured. Yeah, we did a record. We co-wrote the whole record, and we toured in Japan, opening for Kiss and Alice in Chains and
Nice.
Paul Rogers. That was about 10 years ago. So I knew he and I'd worked together. We're really tight that it could work, and I presented that to Serafino and the other powers to be at the Frontiers. They said, absolutely, you get Roy Z on board, great. So I did, and then that's what happened. And then the record, came out in 2019. I got Jason involved, and my friend Jimmy Burkhardt on guitar,
Yep.
also, and Chili, my bro Chili, Dave
Chile.
Amazing drummer.
for
Yes.
Pull of Mud, also, right?
Yes.
We've been bros for like over 20 years, so I got him involved, and then I got Jason because I've known Jason for about 5 years or more, and we'd played together before.
and you were the best man at his wedding.
That's right.
That's correct. I was the best man at his wedding, both times.
That's
Exactly.
right.
Both times.
Exactly. So anyway,
You guys are making me blush.
right. So that was 2019. It came out, and we did a bunch of shows around the country, and things were really taking off. And I even had a bigger agent for us for 2020. And then all of a sudden, that was the last show we did before the pandemic was NAMM in Anaheim in January of 2020.
Wow.
So, and then of course the pandemic hit, it shut everything down for 17 months. So
Yes.
that's where we're at now. We're just going to get things going again. We're playing Northern California, a couple of gigs there next month in Mammoth Lakes. And then we do the Viper Room here, where we played here twice already. On October 2nd, and then we'll come back east and do a bunch of gigs there again.
Nice.
Like we did
Yeah, should be
2019.
good.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's the game plan. Hopefully, keep our fingers crossed and nothing, things don't get worse because it's a day-to-day, week-to-week thing, as you know. So
It seems like it anymore. It's like
Oh,
you wake
yeah,
up, you don't know
absolutely.
what the hell
Yep.
you're doing. You got to check the news and find out what the is going on
Exactly.
again? You know, it's
You
like,
have
am
no
I
idea.
able to go outside, or is there something crashing outside
Yeah,
again?
right. It's
You
I
know,
always say, so what's new with the apocalypse today?
what's
Yeah,
and
that's like,
that's the truth. I mean, it's
you know,
always something.
right.
It affects you guys way more than it affects someone like me. I mean, you guys,
Yeah.
this is your lifeblood. I mean,
Oh, this is yeah, it's our livelihood.
yes.
I've been able to do some outdoor stuff. Like I just got back from playing an outdoor festival over the weekend, just doing Led Zeppelin because of my background with Bonham
Yes.
and with Brian Tishy on drums, who's also on the Westbound record. 2 songs he co-wrote with me, and he played drums on also. I don't know if you know
Which
who
ones
Brian
are them?
Tishy is.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did
Amazing
that. That was
guy.
fun. And Jimmy, my guitars, he was playing guitar, so that was fun. It was probably about 1,500 people there, and it was outdoors. And people are just starving for live music again, and they're
Oh,
just
they
really,
are.
really appreciative, and it's really just, over the moon about, wow, finally could see bands again live, even if, outdoors, a festival, especially the summertime. So,
Right.
so far, everything looks like it's going to be, smooth sailing for the rest of the year, we hope. So that's where we're at.
Exactly.
Keep them fingers crossed, baby.
You take it day by day, it seems.
Exactly.
You know?
Day by day, hour to hour sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I mean,
I think the worst is past us. I hope and pray. And, they're not
I
going to do
think,
a lockdown again.
no, I think if they were going to do that, they would have done it by now.
I
I
think,
think they're
well, yeah,
just
I don't
letting
think that's going
everything
to happen
go.
again. Yeah.
You got half the population immunized, they're vaccinated,
Right.
whatever.
Exactly.
You know,
So, I mean, I think worst case scenario, maybe more mass mandates, which will suck
Right.
as far as indoor venues go.
Oh, yeah. We're
Um,
seeing that right now in Massachusetts.
They're already doing.
Really?
Yeah, they're going to do that
Yeah.
in LA. They're going to start that here also. I'm concerned more about. That's fine if they do that where that you can only have a limited amount of people in the audience.
Yeah.
Because then it affects everything. It affects the guarantees. Because if the owners, the promoters can't have as many people in the venue, then they don't
you're
want
not
to pay
gonna
out
pay it as much.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You got
Now,
it. So
Yeah.
I went
it's
to a
vicious
show.
circle. Yeah.
I went to 38 Special the other day, and I found out last Thursday. I found out 2 hours before the show, masks required. And I
Yep.
swear to God, I'm not
Yep.
wearing a mask anywhere. I don't give a shit who you are, what you say. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Well, I decided, you know what? These guys are playing. I guess I'll put it on. Whatever.
Put out the fucking mask. Right.
I'll support it. Well, I walk up. The guy says, "Put your mask on." I said, "Okay." So I put my mask on. I get in the door and I look around and nobody has a mask on. So I go to the cop, sitting right there with it around his chin. I was like,
Right.
"So how much of an enforcement are you going to do with this tonight?" He goes, "I could give two
None.
shits one way or the other.
Yeah.
Just take that fucking thing off." I said, "Okay, it's off."
That's exactly
And-
the cops out here too. They say, "Look, we got more important things to do than worry about
Yeah.
this crap now." Okay?
Right?
We're not the mass police. They've said
Right.
that. Yeah.
I think
And,
they're even over it, and ushers at venues are over it, and they're just like,
They
"Why do
are.
we have to worry about this anymore?"
But now there'll be more whether you have to show a proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test within 48 hours. They're starting that. And
Yeah, there was
now
a
you're
story
getting a little too
and
personal now.
tours and tours like
Yeah.
Foo Fighters, you have to show proof of vaccination
Yep.
or a negative COVID test within 48 hours, or you're not allowed in the venue. And there's going to be more and more places. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, that are probably going to continue doing that. I know the Troubadour just did it. They just put that into effect. Yeah, as of this month.
And they're usually the rebel club, they're like, your
Right.
rules. We're not, they're total rock and roll where it's like, no,
Yeah, that's true.
we don't need no rules. And then Troubadour goes, okay, everybody needs to do this. That's kind of crazy.
And then, of course, there's more and more bands that are doing it on their riders. They're like the Foo Fighters. I use that as an example. That everybody's got to show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test within 24 to 48 hours, I think, or they're not letting them in the venue. They don't want them in the venue. They're not allowed to go in the venue. So,
So true. We just saw Kiss cancel that date recently.
I saw that
in Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
and that was the last show I saw.
That's right. Yeah, with David Lee.
Kiss from David Lee Roth. That was the 2 weeks before everything got shut down in March. I went.
You know, there's a little controversy about David Lee,
Oh,
not
I
opening.
know. Yeah.
I heard it. It's like, come on, guys,
Really, grow up.
So
Really.
Kiss
Don't you
always
think we
use
have more
backing
important things to
track,
worry about? I'm sorry, what
right?
was that?
Yeah.
The Kiss uses backing tracks.
Yeah.
David Lee Roth or Gene's saying, David Lee Roth has lost it. Well, check your band, dude.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
guys don't sound like you used to. So don't
No,
throw
exactly.
stones, man.
Well,
I mean,
it's odd of a Painter opening. I mean, he was on America's Got Talent, So I mean, who knows what's going on? Is there something? He was on America's Got Talent, the Painter that's opening.
Painter.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
opened
really?
up.
Yeah, he's a performance painter. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's opening for Kiss. So like no
That
music.
to me is
I mean,
weird. That's
Yeah.
very
It is.
strange.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
saw
totally.
it 2019. It was August, and we went to Kiss. I was like, I don't know who the
Yeah.
opening band is. We went in. We got in our seats, and right at the time, lights went down. This Painter comes out. I'm sitting there watching for about 5 minutes. I look at the wife. I'm like, okay, you want to go back outside? I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I've seen enough.
Yeah.
But he was really good. I mean,
Okay.
because we were out here, and he's throwing it, just there's music playing, and
Okay.
and it was really good. You're like, what's it going to be? And one was like Angus Young. I'm like,
Oh,
all
okay.
right.
There you
So
go.
then we went back in and checked it out, whatever. But
Right.
it was cool. But come on, that's not an opening band.
Yeah,
dude.
that's not an opening
yeah.
band. No, sorry. I
We
mean,
gotta
Dave
do it.
is Dave. He was never, to me,
Yeah.
he was the ultimate showman back in the day. He was
Showman.
never known for his vocal prowess.
Yes.
Never.
He did have a cool tone, and he was the ultimate showman and frontman. And he still
That's
had a
what
little
he
bit
was
of that.
hired for.
Exactly. He did. He still looked great. I mean, he started growing his hair out a little bit more, and he was still in great shape. He did a few of his high kicks. Couldn't do it like he used to. I guess the main thing is he was trying to sing out of his range. And I was like, why is he doing this?
Right.
And the only thing I could think of is probably because of the whole Sammy Hagar, comparison. I mean, controversy or who's better. So he was trying to hit these notes that he never tried to do back in the day. He had that streak that, that
Trying to
got
prove
like,
something.
like the funk bands or something, and never tried to sing out of his range. And that was the one thing I was like, why? But besides that, it's Dave, and he was great. I enjoyed it.
Thanks.
So
it's Dave.
it's Diamond Dave. That's right.
Diamond Dave.
That's right.
Lead singers, they have their, they got to work on that all the time. And yours
I've heard
is
that.
right there. They got, you can't just pick up a guitar and tune it. And then, okay,
Right.
now it sounds good. You guys have your vocals where you have to work on it from day one when you're a teenager or younger.
Oh, yeah.
And keep it the way, whatever you
Absolutely.
do, whatever you put in your body, whatever you drink, smoke, do, snort,
Absolutely.
blah, blah, it affects your voice. And
I'm glad I don't smoke. That's the one thing,
Right.
and I drink shitloads of water and everything else. And I try and sing as much as possible. I'll even do some of these jams sometimes. This is before the pandemic, just to keep the pipes up. If there
Right.
wasn't a gig, say within a couple of weeks, because the more you
Right.
sing, the better. It's when you don't do it, especially as you get a bit older, where it's like it forms cobwebs on your vocal cords. You got to get rid of them. The first,
Right.
first couple.
One thing I'll say
songs
about Chas is,
well, mate.
I was gonna say one thing I say about you is I've always been so impressed. I mean, Chas, our last tour run, we did almost 2 weeks shows back to back. And Chas was spot on. There was no question, no issues. I've worked with some singers that they wouldn't even speak for the entire day before the gig. Chas is just like a regular guy hanging out. We're having a great time. It's no issues. We get on stage and we just kick ass,
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. I did have, great vocal. I had a great vocal coach who also did Chris Cornell and, and Axl Rose and Scott Weiland. And so he's really, he really helped me a lot with technique. And so I didn't blow my voice out as far as, learning breathing technique, singing from your diaphragm, stuff like that, and head voice. So that really definitely helped. But also it's, the more you do it, the better, at least that for me anyway. So,
Right. When did you start singing?
Thank you for those kind words, Jason.
Oh, yeah.
It's all true.
So when did you start singing? When did you
I
first
started,
realize?
young. I was playing guitar, probably about, 5, 6 years old. the guitar was bigger than me. Our guitar teacher used to have to carry it to me on stage. And I would sing, and I know, even my parents, it's like before my voice even changed, I could sing on key. Most kids can't. They don't know, And then after my voice changed, it could still, it was still there. And fortunate because I'm a frustrated guitarist and I'm not that good. I can play basic chords for writing. I'm good. I know my basic stuff, but I knew that wasn't going to be my forte. And then like when I got teens and started playing in clubs and things like that, bars, sometimes the sound man or the whoever would say, "Hey man, why don't you just sing and be a front man?" Because you don't have to worry about equipment that much, and you got more time to chat up to girls.
You don't have to load in and load out.
Right. You're like
carry your mic in the back pocket.
Right. 17, 18 years old. Like, oh, that sounds pretty good. Okay.
Get chicks.
And, right. Exactly. More time to chat up to girls, to chicks. You got it. So I was like, okay. So that, but I am a bit of a frustrated guitarist, lead guitarist, definitely. But, I did find that this was my front man was my forte. That was definitely where it fit. And singer-songwriter.
I'd have to agree.
Thank you.
Me too.
Jason, how long you been playing bass? And is that the only instrument you play?
I hate to date myself, but it's been many years.
Whatever. I didn't say year. I said like age. That could be like if you say 15, that could be last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah,
say what year.
Okay. Yeah, no, I thought you said years. My bad.
No,
I started playing when I was about 8 or 9 years old, playing regular guitar and piano and whatnot.
Oh, nice.
And then from there, I started playing in bands around New York City, upstate New York. Then from there, I went to Berkeley, and actually, it's kind of funny. Went to school with some of the guys that actually are in this band. So, just how it comes full circle.
Brian Tishy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No shit.
Brian Tishy was, in many of my classes, and we actually played together at Berkeley, which is funny.
It's kind of like the School of Rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hey.
Right. Kind of. Yeah.
That's kind of odd. It does come full circle. It's amazing how that happens.
Absolutely.
Now you've been no stranger to a lot of different like music. You've been around. You have Steel City going on. What other bands have you been in over the years?
So my first kind of introduction into bigger stuff was I started playing with Eric Martin back in 2010. Yes. And I played with him through 2017. We still have a relationship and whatnot. So we're touring on and off all over the place. Did the Monsters of Rock cruise and that kind of thing. Prior to that, I'd been playing in a bunch of bands. I was in a band called Chinstrap, which actually toured with Bonham back in 98, 97 around the Northeast.
Yeah, he said we hung out. I don't remember it.
Yeah. That's right about Chaz's time.
Yeah, definitely. So then after that, I was playing in the New England area, touring with a couple of bands that were signed. They were big around here, kind of more along the punk lines of things. And then, from playing with Eric, kind of transitioned to some other stuff. Some friends of ours, Chaz and I's mutual friends, kind of had like an all-star band that we started kind of touring around with, doing songs that we were kind of, had performed with the artists that we've been involved in. And so then Chaz and I obviously crossed paths on that. And then numerous shows we were always on. Like I remember one time at Rocklahoma, I was telling you about this earlier, when Chaz actually played this Rainstorm with Jakey Lee. We had played the following day at Rocklahoma too. So I was out there, we got to hang out. It was just amazing. So go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No.
It was pouring. They had to take giant brooms with squeegees on them to sweep the water off to the side of the stage. And we thought we might get electrocuted. I remember I have a picture still where Jake's, pedals being wrapped in towels so that they didn't short out and go out.
Yeah, it was insane.
It was insane. And at one point, it was raining and it was so windy and raining so hard that I was holding a note. And I thought I was going to choke to death because the water was just going down my throat.
Holy shit. Somebody's waterboarding you, Like,
right, exactly. Waterboarding.
What do I do, man? What do I do?
But up bumps. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, but there were some
that was amazing.
fans that still stayed out there. They're all wearing rain
Oh yeah, these
slickers and
people
everything.
they were so true. I mean, I was sitting on the side of the
That's
stage watching
true.
these guys play, and it was packed as far as you could see to the horizon. Literally, I mean, if you've been to Rocklahoma, it's just this giant field, and the rain was coming down. These people were not leaving. They wanted to see,
They were not
Chas and
leaving.
Jake.
It was great.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Oh,
That's
hey,
true.
Red Giant Cartel is a great band. I don't know if he's
Yeah.
still got it going on, but who knows what he's got going on ever.
Yeah.
He comes out with an
Yeah.
album every now and then. It's just like surprise,
Right.
Okay,
You haven't heard
we
from me in
got
20 years. Here you go. Yeah, right.
here. Look what I got. It's always killer. I mean,
Yeah.
he really does it. Now we know the name Westbound. That's your last name, West. Now, what is
Correct.
the bound about? What is Westbound about?
Well, I was just going to call it West, and then they're like, and then it was going to be Westward Bound, because I came out here, from the East Coast, not knowing anybody, and and worked my way up the ladder. I got my first job at the Troubadour nightclub as a doorman, and then I met other musicians, and the rest is history, as they say. So it was kind of westbound to live my dreams and my goals. And so, so it kind of worked. And and the record company liked that too, rather than Westward Bound, because it was kind of confusing, So that's how it came about. I think so. And as opposed to just saying West, because there's, I think there was somebody else that was trying to do that. So it is, so that's how it came about. Yeah. Nice. And of course, they always make a joke, because out here it's like, I'm going westbound on the 405 freeway.
Hey, advertisement for the band every single time they do traffic.
So true.
Exactly, the traffic. Yeah. Traffic copter. Exactly.
You should have them put up your band logo, man. Every time they say Westbound, bam.
Exactly.
I
know. I agree. Hey, you're right. The guy in the sky guy. Yeah.
Yeah, just on the bottom of the helicopter, Westbound. Right on the belly there. All right, now, first, Jason.
Yo.
What are your two favorites? Give me two favorites of yours off that Westbound Volume 1.
Oh, gosh. I'm definitely going to say Traveler, Never Surrender, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but there's so many. I mean.
There's not a bad song on the disc. I'm not saying that at all. I
know. I know.
The disc in, and it's plays through. You don't skip shit.
Those are definitely, This Beautiful Dream, which is a great ballad. I mean,
great ballad.
Every song on the record is great. And I mean,
Turn to You.
You can listen to this. Yeah, Turn to You. I mean, you can listen to this from start to finish. And it's fantastic. I mean.
Okay, Chas, you're two.
Well, actually, it's funny. He said Traveler. That's one of my faves, too. That's kind of
absolutely
like my version of Kashmir, which is my favorite Zeppelin song of all time. So that definitely was influenced. Royce and I wrote that, and that's what I was thinking about. In fact, we even live do that song and then go into a bit of Kashmir toward the end. So, and people love it. They freak out. They go, wow,
Because that song could lead right into it. And you're right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then I guess the first song we wrote, and I really love, is "Dance of Life."
That is good.
And that was the second single, after Never Surrender. So I love that one too. If I had to pick two, but and they'll Never Surrender, Beautiful Dream, like he said. As David Lee Roth said, it's all about the beauty and the bombast, and give them a lot of bombast. But now here's one for the ladies.
Right? Exactly.
Right?
You gotta have that. Roll the Bones even is. I love that one.
That's a great one.
You're naming all the ones I love, but you might as well just take the disc and say, "Hey, this my favorite song right here." The whole thing. I mean,
the whole thing. Oh, thank you.
The whole thing.
That means a lot. Thank you.
I was telling Jason
that means a lot. Thank you.
I told Jason this. I told him a couple times. I've seen him a couple times, and I tell him this. He told me I needed to tell you. You guys were on my first exposure to Westbound was I knew of Steel City, and so I knew Steel City was playing the Mork thing last summer. They were doing the whole streams and everything. So I saw Steel City was on there with Westbound. I'm like, okay. The name sounds familiar.
Talking about the streaming? Yeah, the Monsters of Rock.
Yeah, the Monsters of Rock streaming. So I tuned in, and I'm like, okay, I know who Chas West is. He's done this with, Lynch Mob and that. I hadn't heard of Westbound as of then. So I'm like, okay,
Right.
you guys, I think we were first. I'm pretty sure you were first. So
Yes.
I'm watching, and I'm like, I tune in to watch everything. I give it a chance. So I tuned in. I was hooked from the first song. And I mean, I'm like, God damn, how have I not heard
Thank
these
you.
guys? How have
I
not
think that
heard of
was
them?
Never Surrender. We usually start with Never Surrender.
Oh, Never Surrender. And
Yeah.
I was like, this is great. And you just
Right.
plowed right through it. So then Steel City's up next. I left. I'm out. I got to go to the internet. I'm
Well, I
on my
think
phone.
Steel
I'm
City
like,
did it on a different day, if I
Yeah,
remember
we were like
right.
we were about
Maybe.
2 weeks. Yeah.
it might have been somebody
like a
else
week
coming up
apart.
then. Okay,
Yeah.
then there was
Pretty
somebody
Boy
else
Floyd
coming up.
was playing.
Might
Did it,
have
I
been
think.
Pretty
Yes.
Boy Floyd.
That's right. Yeah.
Anyway, I left. I don't give a shit who it was. I was out. So I go to the
Yeah.
internet. I'm like I'm on your Facebook. I'm like, okay, how do I get this CD? Found it, ordered it, showed up a week later. I was like, and if I like something, I'm ordering it right then and there. So I
That's
don't forget
really
about it.
cool.
But
Thank
yeah,
you for the
you
support.
guys. Oh, and I
Really appreciate that.
support anything that's really good and I enjoy. I try to get it out there and let people know that, hey, this, like I told Jason before, we had Steel City on before, and I said, Jason, I really want to get you and Chas on. So he arranged
Right.
everything, and I thank you for coming on here.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure.
And
Let's
just
do.
we should
Go
mention
ahead.
Monsters of Rock too, if we could, because I mean Larry was really generous to get us on there. So I mean that was really
Right.
cool that he did that. That was amazing.
He's got a
Yeah,
good
we've
ear.
both known him
I
for
mean,
years. I've known Larry since I sang with Lynch Mob. He was managing Lynch Mob at the time. So yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
What
he was
is he-
Dio's manager for years. He was Dio's manager for years too, as well.
Yeah, especially he couldn't do anything else. I mean, last year.
Oh yeah,
right.
It was just
And
all
then
you could
it
do
was-
was the streaming shows.
And it was great that he came up with that, as like he kept
Agreed.
music in our lives when we're just sitting on the couch, and he was able to just bring it to us and discover new bands like Westbound, like Steel City, bands that people
Right.
really haven't heard of maybe, and boom, bringing it right into the living room right when you're sitting there bored off your ass because you've watched Netflix way
Yeah.
too many damn
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
I need music, man.
yeah. He really
Right,
turned
right.
things around. I mean, he had that studio set up because he's going to be doing that huge stadium tour. With Poison, Def
Yeah.
Leppard,
Boys
and
and
Motley
Motley
Crue.
Crue and Def Leppard. Yeah.
Someday.
Someday,
So, I
no,
mean-
no, supposed to happen next year now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's next year now. Yeah,
They
but I
could
mean,
have done it this year, but
he did a lot
Yeah, I
for
think-
he did a lot for us and the whole music scene by doing that. I mean, taking his time to do that. I mean, it was just so cool.
yes.
Yeah,
He
Can't
was-
think of enough.
absolutely.
Yes,
Yep.
he's always got something going on. He's
And we did another one. We did
Brilliant.
our endorser, one of our endorsers,
Oh, that
Chromacast
was
and Sawtooth.
killer.
We did.
Yeah.
They did one for us too. In fact, Vinny Appice did it with his other band too.
Yeah,
And that I don't know if you know who they are,
Last
Joe Fuco. So yeah, right.
yeah, Joe
So,
Fuco, yeah, amazing guy.
We
with,
did that.
Sawtooth.
When was that, Jason? We did that October. I think that was October, right?
Was it that late? I think it was September, wasn't it? It seems like a blur.
I don't. Maybe late. Maybe it was late
Yeah, I think it
September.
was
You're
late
probably
September.
right.
Yeah,
Last
been
year
almost-
was a blur.
yeah,
It really was. There was-
Every
Yeah.
month ran together. You just
Yeah.
okay. This one day is a little colder than that
Right.
day, so it must
Right.
be.
no,
next
Chaz, I
month.
think you're correct. You're correct, actually.
I believe so. I thought it was early October.
Yeah,
don't
you're
know.
correct. Yeah,
Or
but yeah,
late
Joe
September.
Fuco is amazing. He owns Sawtooth, Chromacast. I mean,
Chromacast.
Yeah.
They're one of our endorsers. So yeah, that
So
was really cool.
supportive.
He did that. Yeah. And he took care of us. So it's
All right,
it's
well,
fun of
let's
us to
take
get
a
out and
little-
play live.
You want to
yeah.
take a little break and do a couple tunes?
Sounds great.
Cool.
Sounds
We'll
good to
do.
me.
We're gonna
Pour
throw
yourself a
Traveler
cocktail and join me.
on. You can go get more. You guys take a little break. We'll get Traveler. We'll do Traveler first, and then we'll do Never Surrender.
okay.
How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Sounds good.
Westbound Traveler, and then right after that, Never Surrender. Enjoy.
Cheers.
supposed to leave. Raising the stakes, keep on playing the game. Something to win in the end, it's the same. Never surrender when you feel misunderstood. Never surrender. Always believe that I could. Searching for purpose, been through lost and found. Don't need your pity, living around ups and downs. Pledge my devotion to a sound and a dream. My face unfolded, won't accept a defeat. Raising the stakes, keep on playing the game. Something to win in the end, it's the same. Never surrender. The truth will survive. Never surrender. Just keep your eye on the prize. Never surrender. Always lay it on the line. Never surrender. Let your light always
You know, now nobody's going to get some sleep tonight. Going,
What was that?
nobody's going to get sleep tonight. Now they're pumped up on the internet going, hey, where can I get that CD?
Seriously.
Oh, that's good shit. I mean, great.
Thank you, man.
This is,
Thank you.
know, one of my
Well, at least we
favorites.
got some.
Thank you.
We did get to tour a little bit, and we'll do some more now.
Oh, yeah.
At least the record came out in 2019.
Right.
You know, so
And now you'll be hitting it,
Thank
you
you.
know. It
Hold on, I
reminds
just put a
me.
charger in because the phone's about ready
Okay.
to die.
No worries.
Yeah, I'm good.
You
love.
know,
Thank you.
the
All right.
one
What
of
was
the
that? I didn't
CDs
hear
that,
that.
one of the CDs it reminds me of. I mean, I hope you take this as a compliment, guys. But one of my favorites that came out in the 90s was when Coverdale and Page did a CD. And I mean, that CD just smoked start to finish.
Yeah, I love that.
And,
That
you know,
great.
it reminds me of that. Oh, my God, it reminds me of that.
Okay.
But
that's the first I've heard that one. I've heard Whitesnake. I mean, Serafino, you know, that's one of the reasons he signed me because he said it, you know, vocally. I reminded him kind of David Coverdale, you know. and my melody ideas were similar to Whitesnake, and that's what he liked.
Oh yes.
But at first I've heard Coverdale Page, but that makes sense because of my Zeppelin influence. So yeah, that's great.
It's just it's got that vibe, it's got that feel. I mean, Coverdale, no doubt about it. Whitesnake comes to mind.
Oh yeah,
but it's a little heavier than Whitesnake, which Whitesnake
a little bit,
to me, and it's not as polished. It's raw,
right?
You don't have that overproduced feel to that CD, which I
didn't
hate.
want that.
Oh yeah,
I hate that
exactly.
too.
It's definitely raw. It sounds really good.
We wanted the old school sound, obviously, but not so it sounds so dated either. So
and plus when you come out live, it's just such a natural sounding record. It sounds perfect when we go live.
Right. And when I heard you on when you were on the Monsters of Rock Cruise live stream, what you guys played was what I heard on the CD, and is exactly what I wanted to hear.
Exactly.
Right. That's cool.
So you guys got a lot of dates coming up. You said you
got a few, like I said, Yeah,
they're coming in. I mean, we've got some coming up in. Yeah,
yep.
We've got some coming up in Northern California.
That's next month. Room. That starts things off, right?
Yeah. Then we've got some,
Room.
We've got some offers from, down in Florida and whatnot. We're just trying to piece some stuff together. It's just been tricky with the whole COVID thing, like we were talking earlier. We had a whole slew of dates booked earlier in the year, but it was just, we booked a bunch before COVID, and then we had to cancel, and then we rescheduled them, and it was just crazy. It was just like we're ready to go, and then the airfares went through the roof, so we kind of had to just reevaluate everything. Yeah,
airfare and rentals of tour bus or RV.
Yeah, exactly.
It was insane, and I was like, can't do this. It logistically doesn't work out right now. So so we postponed it till fall, and
exactly.
Mike Floros has a question. Are you guys doing dates with Wild America?
Yeah, we're supposed to do a few with them. I believe, right, Jason, like in October?
Yeah, that's the plan. We're planning on doing a tour run with Wild America in October. We're also, looking at doing some stuff on the West Coast, which we've been working on with Billy, for over a year, since before COVID. So, I mean, that stuff's definitely going to happen. We're trying to get on the books, and, we're trying to maneuver our way.
Well, the Viper Room show.
Yeah.
The Viper Room show is basically a rescheduling from back in April of 2020. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That was going to be the first gig after NAMM. That was going to start things off. And then, of course, that got, canceled, in March. So this is what it is. It's we're making up the date that we were supposed to have done back in April of 2020. Yeah. So
we're just kind of readjusting ourselves for the existing market. It's just been tough to manipulate it and just get out there, as it has existed. So now we're getting back into it. We're looking forward to doing a ton of dates.
We got to see what we could do with you guys around the Baltimore area, Philly area, Jersey.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I might have to bend a couple people's ear.
Yeah, yes.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Fucking great. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Definitely.
Exactly.
I got somebody I may need to talk to. He'll see this and he'll be blowing my phone up. But I got to talk to him this week anyway. So let's see what we could do.
I have a feeling
we got to hook up with you guys.
So.
Oh, you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, I know. But on bumps. Yeah, because
I mean, we've done great.
We'd love to do the festival. So yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be killer.
Yes,
it'd be killer.
It'd be killer.
I mean, we've done great. We did a great Northeast run last year, which was at Blackthorn 51, which is no longer there, but was such a great place to play. And then the Jersey Shore, we just moved down there, the whole area.
The Saint. I had friends of mine from Jersey that I hadn't seen in years came to that gig, and we did at the Saint in Asbury Park.
That was amazing.
And that was really cool. Yeah, that was really cool. We did like 9 or 10 nights in a row, I think. Am I right, Jason?
It was amazing. It was like 9 nights. It was nonstop. Killer tour bus. It was just it worked out great. And 2 drummers, believe it or not.
2 drummers.
Yeah.
Nice. One couldn't handle it.
It was just schedules. That's all. It was just scheduling. So, but they both did a great job. So.
Oh yeah. John Hummel and Brian Carl.
John Hummel and Brian Carl. because the
Yeah.
drummer,
Nice.
Dave Chili Moreno, is, he
Right.
plays with Puddle of Mud also. So he was
Yep.
touring with them. So he
Yep.
wasn't really available for all the shows. And Tish did a couple of gigs with us on the West Coast. Brian Tishy, I'm referring to.
Oh
He
yeah.
did Viper Room with us, right? Yeah, he did the first
Oh yeah,
Viper we
Viper
did.
Room and Vamped.
And Vamped, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Counts Vamped in Vegas. They're good friends of mine that own that, Danny and Corey Coker. So I play there a lot.
Right.
In fact, I just did my Zeppelin thing there last month. So
That's right. Yeah, that was a rescheduled date too.
that was a rescheduled date too.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. That was from March. That was the first gigs I lost for the pandemic. It was March of 2020. So yep.
Oh,
But
hopefully they're all coming back. I mean, it's only a matter of time before everything starts rolling out again.
Exactly.
People are
So.
thirsty, hungry for this.
No, they are.
They totally
I've
are.
seen it.
Yeah.
I've experienced it even in the last couple of months when, things in LA finally started opening, as far as live music in middle of June is when it first started. And I have a side thing I do. It's for fun called the Chasmanian Devils. And we just do
Nice.
And that's what I want them, because that's like my nickname, right? So I just wanted to do it mainly just to celebrate live music again. So we did this little
Right.
place that I know the owners at called Universal Barn Grill. And it was packed. This was like on a
Nice.
Thursday night, and you couldn't move because you finally didn't have to have a mask on, and there was no
Right.
limit as far as the amount of audience, the amount of people you could have in the audience. So yeah, it was great. It was fun, and and that started opening things up. So
Right.
and now it's Westbound time. So
Now it's Westbound time, baby. Everything else takes a backseat. Mike Floros, don't listen to this part. It's Westbound time.
Well,
That's
I'll say, Steel City, not to rag on you, Mike, but Steel City really wouldn't exist as it does right now if I hadn't met Mike through Chas.
Right.
So that's kinda how this whole kind of came together. I actually went to see Chas was playing with another band, and they were, Steel City was on the bill, and that's how I ended up meeting, Mike Flores.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you weren't in.
Right.
You weren't in for Fortress.
So I get either all the
came in
credit or
about
the blame, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah. So
So
all you pretty hair guys hang out, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I got two beautiful hair guys, two
Hey, I haven't washed my hair
luscious
since
manes with some fucked
I'm
up
just hanging
troll looking
outside.
guy here.
Oh no, you got great hair too.
Some troll.
you got great hair, I can tell.
Yeah.
Haven't washed your hair since Saturday, and it looks that
Saturday.
good.
Nah.
Fuck. God, I gotta find out what you use then. I mean, I really need to give me some of that.
Okay, I'll turn you on to it. It's nothing that special, but
No, suave, fuck it.
there might be a little girl jizz in it too.
Oh no.
Oh, nice. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, dude.
Nothing wrong with that. I believe in
Nothing
giving as
wrong.
well as receiving.
Way too much
Absolutely.
information here.
Yeah,
All right.
sorry.
Hey, this is a PG rated show here.
Oh no! Come on.
The hell it is. No way.
Hell it is,
And
exactly.
the bald guy is the best. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Mike Floros has to say, and yet the bald guy is the best looking of the bunch. That's bullshit. It's a lie.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
It's only because he's bald.
Cue ball.
Cue ball. Cue ball.
No, we
Mike-
love Mike, and
He always
Steel City's
finds
I
a
like
way
Mike.
to get
Don't
into
get me wrong.
something,
Yeah.
He's always finds a way to get in the mix, He's always
Oh,
out
yeah.
there lurking.
good.
We love you, Mike.
We love
We
you, Mike.
love
You're
you.
great. We love
Yeah.
Steel City.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Anything else you guys want to, get out there before we close this down? And you got any plans for another record coming out anytime?
Well,
Any
that's
writing
I'm
going on?
looking at. Hopefully, maybe next year. I'm gonna have a
Okay.
sit down with Frontiers Music again, like the end of this year. It's been everything, the way it's been. Like you said, it's like 2020 didn't even exist. So.
Right.
We're playing catch up right now from gigs we were supposed to have done in 2020. So, but I'm planning. That's what I'm hoping sometime next year, probably more towards the latter part of the year. So that
Okay.
maybe there'll be volume 2, Westbound volume
go.
2.
2. You sure it's not gonna be like 3, maybe 5? 5, volume 5. And everybody
Skip 2.
just
We only have 1. So I
mess.
think we have to go.
Hey, mess with people. They'll be like, okay, they'd be searching for volume
that's
2.
true,
Going,
yeah.
what did I miss? Is you
What
know,
did I miss? Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
the whole
So-
year was on hold. It was on pause,
Right.
basically. So, sure.
right?
Yeah.
I like that.
You missed
good.
it. You know,
You
then
missed it,
your
exactly.
name will be at the top of the Google search list. You know, everybody's
Right.
searching for Westbound. You know, hey, it's a good marketing ploy there.
That's
Seriously.
true. I'm
Yeah.
going to
Just
keep
saying.
that in mind. I'm going to remember that. Man.
Good.
Yeah. Well done.
Don't
I don't know
use
if
it.
Frontiers will go for it, but you never know.
Nah, they'll probably
Worth a
like, fuck
shot.
that guy, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, thank you so much, man. I've been dying to talk to you both. I mean, I've known Jason for a little bit now, and it's
Yep,
very
that's
nice
right.
getting to know you, Chaz.
You too, my friend.
I wish you guys
Definitely.
the best out there. I mean, you guys got it, you know, with all 3 of your bands, you guys got it hitting on all cylinders. I mean, you just got it going on. There's chemistry in every band. You got to admit, it might be the 2 of you. I mean, you guys are the
Thank
common
you.
denominator. So,
You're
you
too
know,
funny.
you go
You're
back
Well,
to
the other guys in the
Mike.
band are
and-
great too. The guys in the band are
Yes.
great. They're
Oh,
all
this
really
whole
band
talented.
is
We get on really
fantastic.
well. We get on really well. You know, we've all got a good twisted sense of humor, so that helps.
You
Yeah.
gotta have that.
I
If
I mean,
you don't have
that's how
that, you ain't
survive in
got
this
shit.
industry.
It's-
Exactly. You'll never survive in this industry. You ain't got a sense of humor. If you let
Pranks
everything
and
get to
sense of humor. I mean, you got to do it.
you. It's true. I learned
Yes.
that years ago. So
Yes.
no, it's good, and we're really looking forward to getting out there and playing again. I'm
Yes.
you know, I'm biting at the bit, as they say. You know, to do it
Oh,
again.
hell
Me
yeah.
too.
And
You
I
gotta
look
be.
forward to meeting you in person, hanging out with you.
Absolutely.
When we come to the East Coast
Absolutely.
to do some shows there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Mike, we
Absolutely.
can't thank you enough for this.
Hey,
Exactly.
my pleasure doing this. I've been wanting to get you 2 on, and I'm just glad it happened finally.
You know,
But anytime you ever want to come back on or sit down and bullshit or do
Oh,
anything,
yeah.
you got anything you want me to get out
I
there?
appreciate whatever you
let
can
me
do
know.
to promote us on the East Coast there, and you know, the Baltimore area, whatever. You know, other
I will
places.
do everything in my
greatly
power.
appreciate it. You know,
Not a problem.
I
Not a
owe you a
problem.
drink when I see you.
Hey,
I
you
drink
don't
it
owe
too.
me anything. You don't owe me anything. It is my pleasure. If I believe in a band or if I believe in the music that's being done,
Right.
just like I'm not any more special than anybody else. If we believe in it, you know, we share it. We get it out there. We say, you know, it's like the days when you
Right.
had. Now we have Facebook, but we used to have that telephone, and we put it up to the boom box and say, "Hey, man, you got to check this out," and just
Right.
put it up
You're
to
right
the
about that.
speaker.
True.
You're on the phone for 45 minutes listening to Aussie Diary of a Madman when it first came out, and you're like,
Right,
"Holy
right.
shit!" But now we
So
got
true.
Facebook, you know, and we can get it out there in more ways. You know, we got
You're right.
podcasts, we got Facebook, we got Twitter, we got so many avenues that we need to use.
Instagram. Yeah,
We just don't use them enough, as far as I'm
I
concerned.
agree. Yeah,
Facebook ain't for
There's so many
bitching; it's for
platforms
sharing
now.
music. It is.
Social media platforms to use, and it's
Yep.
really advantageous for, you know, especially
is.
for unknown bands, but new bands.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And that's I love pushing them just as much as I love pushing the Nationals. You know.
As do I.
Yep.
As do I.
But like I said, thank you very much for doing this. I'm sure everybody appreciated it and enjoyed it. And I will leave with one more song. I'm going to leave with Turn to You or Roll the Bones. Which one do you want me to do?
Ooh, they're both great.
I know.
Turn to You. I wrote about my mom who passed.
Turn to you.
So, Turn to You.
Trace-
Trace. That's
Trace-
Trace, right?
Trace-
I heard it.
Tracy's like,
Trace-
turn to
All
you.
right, baby.
Hi,
All
Tracy.
right, darling.
Love
To
you.
you. And the spirit and memory of my mom.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well,
Okay.
thank you very much. And I'll leave you
Thank
all
you
with
again.
Turn to You. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Go get the CD, Westbound Volume 1. You will thoroughly enjoy it as much as I did. So,
This was great. Whole lot of fun.
A
thank
lot
you.
of fun.
Thank you.
See
You
you
guys have a
soon.
good night.
Take care, you
Absolutely.
too,
All right,
man.
You
Take
too.
care.
All the best. All right.
Peace.
Cheers.
Enjoy the music.
Thanks, brother.
When the night is cold and gray and all hope is seen to fade away, I look for truth to carry on, to carry on. When real music has just died and my life just seems to pass me by, show me answers as to why, oh, as to why. When the tide breaks and the earth quakes, I can turn to you. When I feel the heartache lost in a fool's faith, I can turn to you. When mankind just shakes your faith and there is no give but only take, and when I'm lost and need to find my way, gotta find a way. When you're feeling so alone, with everywhere you've been, you've got no home, I need a reason to stand strong, just stand strong. Keep moving on when you think it's all in vain, 'cause all you feel is pain. I can turn to you. Out on the open plain or in the driving rain, I can turn to you. When I'm feeling lost, so alone, I can face another day. Going through the fight all on my own. You know the stage is set to change. When the tide breaks and the earth quakes, I still turn to you. When I'm down and out, feeling forgot about, I can turn to you. When I think it's all in vain, 'cause all I feel is pain, I can turn to you. When the music dies inside,
What a great tune. All right. Next show coming up. That'll be tomorrow. That'll be all what do we call it? Less Talk, More Rock Tuesday. And then on Thursday, I will have Paul Lidell and now Jack Pyers from Dirty Looks. Jack Pyers was added today. Paul Lidell got a hold of me and told me Jack was joining. So Jack and Paul from Dirty Looks, we're going to discuss all things Dirty Looks, see what they got going on. I know they got a show coming up in September, but we'll see what else they may have on their plate. And also we'll be co-hosting is the world's biggest, #1 biggest Dirty Looks fan. I thought I was, but apparently I ain't. So we got Tuesday and Thursday. Be with me then. I will see you then. Enjoy your night. Go out and buy the Westbound CD. Here it is. I mean, this CD is absolutely fantastic. There we go. Trying to get it in there. Absolutely fantastic. You'll love it. Just go get it. If you like the 3 songs you had, go get it. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Be safe. Keep rocking.